Good afternoon, everyone. About to get started with some Saturday NBA action brought to you by 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. I'll be joined by Greg Anthony, Tim Legler, and we'll be hearing from our reporter, Allie LaForce, in the sidelines as well. The fans here in New Orleans ready to cheer on their Pelicans in this interconference matchup. This, their first look at this year's Toronto squad. A year ago, they each gained a victory at home, but couldn't secure a win on the road.
Yeah, faced off twice last season, and it was a split between the two teams.
Well, both teams struggled to be competitive overall last year, but at least their season series was.
Misi's shot is good.
Yeah, scoring off of missed shots. That's a big part of his game.
And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And having starred in a six-man role in New York, Tim Emmanuel quickly has been handed the keys in Toronto.
Well, he certainly has, Kevin, and he's got the contract to match it. You talked about confidence and determination to prove yourself. That sums up quickly.
Yeah, nice timing there on that catch and shoot. Jordan with such a musical rhythm to his game.
Nowitzki's shot's good.
And he's not going to miss many of those, especially that wide open.
Well, the key is to take what the defense allows. That is smart basketball.
Jordan with it. Picked up by Nowitzki. Tim, one thing for sure. When Zion Williamson is right, he can carry all by himself in offense.
Well, there is no question he is an athletic freak. There is no answer for him when he is playing aggressively.
And Greg, we know he's a fearsome dunker, but Zion Williamson also has a soft touch.
And that's a great point, Kevin. He can finish in every way, either hand, through contact, off balance, on the run. A natural gift for converting around the rim.
Jordan outside. And Trey Murphy gets the three. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
It reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
Now, here's quickly. Nowitzki in the post. Takes it off the glass. Nowitzki's got 6.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
And we knew coming into this game, we expected him to be very involved early.
Now here's Nowitzki, following the miss by Michael Jordan. To the inside. Murray bowls. Bay pulls it in. New Orleans with the ball. Inside. And Misi throws it down.
Oh, how about using the rim to get some true hang time?
You know, he just wanted to make sure the landing was softer than the takeoff. And stolen by Jordan. Murray left side. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
That is special body control there by Murray against that contact in the paint. Still able to get it to fall.
Ingram bounces high off the rim and drops.
Well, that's a tough matchup because he's skilled and relentless.
Here's Jordan. Good work there as it goes. He has 6.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
And new leadership for the Pelicans. Greg looking to create a tough, no-excuses mindset.
And at the risk of making excuses, injuries are what held this team back last season. So some of that toughness might be best reflected in their ability to just stay on the court.
Kicks it out to Jordan. 5 to shoot. Here he goes. And slam dunk by Jordan.
And we've seen it. He can do this all game. Jordan with a great burst there to get the finish.
And timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. Coach is going to talk some things over with the team. Might be seeing something to adjust. Quickly looking it over. Here's Barnes. Al Horford with the rebound. Pelicans leading by 4. And there's a whistle that goes on Scotty Barnes. That is his first foul of the game.
Second team foul.
23 seconds left in the first. At the elbow, Horford. Back to Jordan.
That is what Barnes brings on defense. He has the length to bother a shot and the versatility to switch on to any offensive player. Well, that is a nice challenge at the rim. Really altered that shot.
Michael Jordan getting it done.
17. The Raptors, 13.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. Let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Pelicans.
And, guys, they've done a great job feeding their bigs inside. They are just punishing the opposition in the paint.
And what a great job they have done sharing the ball. This is what team basketball looks like, and I love to see it. And that's exactly the type of pass we expect from a guy with his vision.
So, Greg, talking about Jeremiah Fears for a second here. Both he and his brother, Jeremy Jr., play college basketball at the same time during the 24-25 season.
Clearly, this sport runs in their family. Jeremiah's fearlessness and competitive spirit have made him an enticing prospect. And I'm sure he attests he owes that, at least partially, to Jeremy.
And Barnes putting on that hard hat, using that size in close to get work done.
Here's the 3, and Trey Murphy hits from deep. He's got 11.
That's number 2 for him from long range in the quarter, his 3rd overall.
And it's Barnes slamming it down.
And Barnes got off the floor quickly, no doubt about that one.
Now here's Murray. A 3-ball. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. Hit by Horford. The putback. It's good on the putback. Horford's got the lead up to 8 now for the Pelicans.
And how about the court awareness from Horford? Quickly grabs the board and doesn't let the possession go to waste.
Substitution on the court.
Barnes down low. Up and in for the basket. Number 4. That makes him 4 for 5 now.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
And now let's send it over to our courtside reporter, Allie LaForce.
Hey, RJ Barrett, the son of a pro hoops player. He said, quote, as a youngster, my dad programmed me to be aggressive. He always told me, go to the rim, live in the paint. When you do that, you not only score, but you force the whole defense to collapse, and you can make easy plays to hit shooters. Guys?
Playing with purpose. Allie, as always, we appreciate your reporting. GA now in year 3 under Darko Rajakovic. The Raptors are staying the course.
His contract runs through next season, and he's all in on developing these young players and getting the best out of them.
Too open that time. Made it look too easy.
And Murray has the vision you want in a lead guard. He scans the floor and finds his team quality shots.
Now, here's quickly. Pass to Mamu Kalashvili. 6 on the shot clock. Barrett. Good work defensively by Horford. And it's Murray penetrating. Queen can't get it to go. Oh, he really broke up that transition opportunity. Looks like it'll be a transition take foul. Every so often, Tim, you heard the term defensive anchor. What defines one in the way you look at the game?
Well, I think it's that player that's on the back line, protecting the rim, but also able to see the entire floor. That is where your best communicator often resides.
How did you grade your defensive abilities when you played?
I battled, Kevin. You're going to have to kill me to stop me. That's the way I looked at it.
Goes up, and it's Barnes slamming it down.
Well, that's a nice fast break finish from Scotty Barnes, showing you the ground he can cover in the open floor.
Pass to Messi. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. That game marks the first half of a quick two-game homestand. And the Raptors making a change here. And so James Borrego decides to call timeout. Coach is going to take a few minutes to regroup and go over the strategy. Both teams will make substitutions. "55 seconds left in the first half of the game. There's the screen. Jordan. And the dunk by Jordan.
And that time, the screener rolls, and Jordan has room to get the shot he wants, makes a good decision to keep that one himself.
Here's Murray Boyle. Still without a basket. 6 to shoot. Toronto needs to get off his shot. Nowitzki for 3. That one will not drop. It's his first miss. He's 4 for 5. And here is Jordan. He's got 10. Jordan's right. Wow, what a play.
Unbelievable.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game.
Well, there's a swagger out there. You can see it on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
25.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. And so quickly, we'll bring it up for the Raptors. 11-point game. And Tim, an old-school big man, Jakob Poeltl, still more than valuable in today's game.
Well, there certainly remains a place in this league for centers who defend the rim, rebound, and set screens. He might not be flashy, but he's a winning player.
Jordan with it. Shoots from the high post. Second chance shot. Messi's shot is good. Messi's got the lead up to 13 now for the Pelicans.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in cracking this one.
You know, he's smaller for the center position by NBA standards, but his leaping ability more than makes up for his lack of height.
Here's Murray Boyle. Michael Jordan grabs the miss. Pelicans leading by 11. Here's Poole, and he uses the glass on the way. Poole's got his first basket.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Here's Nowitzki. Pelicans pull it in. First minute and a half of basketball here in the third quarter. Jordan outside. There's a good screen. Goes up to the stripe. Here's Messi. Got a piece of it. It's Ingram on the wing. To the paint. Nowitzki. Can't get it to fall.
Yeah, just 25% to start this half. They're going to have to start getting higher percentage shots.
Down low. Here's Bay. And it's good, assisting on the play with Jordan. Bay's got his first basket of the night. So here we are, Greg, looking at this roster of the Raptors. What is the path to contention?
Well, perhaps an opening in the East for them to make a move. Going from good to great, that's tougher and will require them to develop or acquire some superstar talent.
And, Greg, you were a point guard. How has that position evolved over the years?
Well, if you think of how much more of the court that has to be covered and the style, you have to score more now to play the position. I think shooting becomes incredibly important. And then defensively, with all the switching, you got to be able to hold up against size and play all over the floor.
And the Raptors making a change here. And timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. He's going to take a few moments here to check in with his team and regroup. And timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. He's going to have a discussion on the sideline. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. And they're running. Here's Murray. And it's Toronto with the rebound.
Yeah, they're winning despite his offensive performance. He just hasn't been sharp from the field.
And that one's good, Barnes.
Man, has Barnes been great here offensively. He has come out blazing.
Now here's Murray. Three-pointer, Horford. Kept alive. Outside for Murray. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Quickly. Nowitzki outside. Over Horford. The shot is good from Nowitzki. Nowitzki's got 10 points.
And, you know, he's enjoyed the kind of day you expect in terms of shooting the basketball. He can bring them right back into this game.
Now here's Murray. And it's sent back by Nowitzki. To the middle. Here's Murray Boyle. That's good, and it's Ingram with the assist. Murray Boyles has got it back down to single digits for Toronto. So, Tim, we were just talking about Brandon Ingram. Just how impactful of a player is he at this stage of his career?
Well, he's very talented, Kevin, and he's got great length for a wing. The biggest thing for him has been his health. But when he's good to go, there is no question he's a major factor.
Let's check in now with our Allie Laporte, who's got a story for us. Allie?
Thanks a lot. It was a lost season for the New Orleans Pelicans. Continued injury troubles derailing a team that, when healthy, looked capable of a top seed, leaving some wondering whether a curse needed lifting. But with some draft help and a still talented roster, the hope is this will be the year. Back to you.
All right, Allie, thanks a lot.
And still capable of being your defensive anchor, Horford is excellent at positioning himself to block shots.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. And DeJounte Murray gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
And timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. He's going to take a minute here to get things straightened out. Several teams changing it up here. Raptors trailed by 10. Here's Shed. No scoring in this one. And stolen by Bay. 1 second left. And Poole gets it to go. And so it's New Orleans. Up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. What a night they've had in terms of their shooting.
The Raptors, 34.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Here's Jordan. Bay sets a screen. Down low. Here's Horford. Nice D from Barrett.
Defense did just enough to force that miss. I really expected him to get two there.
Barnes can't get it to go.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the chart.
Fires from deep. And Trey Murphy hits from deep. And the Pelicans lead by 15.
Guys, he's been a one-man air raid coming at them time and time again.
This defense is trying to stay connected to him, but he is on a mission.
And the call will be against R.J. Barrett. That's his first foul. New Orleans leading by 13. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. New Orleans moving it around. And the call will be against R.J. Barrett. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Second team foul.
Jordan outside. And shot on the way. And it's Mamukelashvili with the rebound. Raptors trailed by 13. Back to Barnes. There's the triple. And the rebound goes to the Pelicans. They can look forward to the Rockets arena after this matchup to take on Houston. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. Here's Murray. Barnes grabs the miss.
It's been a quiet game for him to this point on the offensive end, but the team has still played well enough to hold the lead.
And stolen by Horford. Wide open look here for Murray. The shot's good on the assist by Horford. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Pelicans.
All game long, they've had active hands and really out in the passing lanes. And that aggression on defense has resulted in a ton of steals.
Well, one thing that has stood out to me, and it's been a major difference maker, is they're playing with great pace, getting out on the break every chance they get.
And now, in transition, it's Barnes. Here we go. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Now Murray. Horford. Oh, what a finish.
No chance to shut that one down. Horford's reach made that play unstoppable.
And Toronto making a change here. Last season for the Pelicans, Tim, one to forget. Absolutely decimated by injuries.
Well, unfortunately, that's been the norm for Zion Williamson. But the extent of it throughout the roster was mind-boggling. They're trying to reset, and they're hoping things go differently this season.
Pelicans leading by 16. Outside Jordan. Tim, at one point, your dream was to play professional baseball. Why did you switch?
Kevin, it really came down to this. Hit a growth spurt when I was 14 years old, and I decided to go try this basketball thing that first year in high school. As it turns out, what I fell in love with, I didn't need anybody else to get better. I had an insatiable work ethic. It lent itself to hours and hours on the basketball court by myself.
That is such an interesting perspective. Here's Quickly. Nowitzki right side. Shot clock at 6. Got it to go off the glass.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for New Orleans.
One of the areas that has been critical for them, the second chance points we've seen from them tonight.
A huge factor in this one, Kevin. The hustle on the offensive glass, the willingness to go after those rebounds, that was key.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Jordan.
Well, offensively, he was about as locked in as you can be, and his team continued to find it.
This arena was rocking throughout the night. You could really feel the energy.
What a great performance. They have given the fans their money's worth. Well, he got the shot he loves, and the defense should honestly be relieved. He didn't punish them for being a little bit soft there at the mid-range.
Barnes with it. Now guarded by Jordan.
Assisted by.
And so Poole will bring it up for the Pelicans. They led the game at 1 point by 20. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Just 5 to shoot. Launches from deep. Hustles for the rebound and guides it back in. So we see the Pelicans taking the W here. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you